Almost everything in professional wrestling eventually develops into a rivalry. Faction splits, tag teams disband, but occasionally the internal strife bleeds into the actual world, turning sincere friends into sworn adversaries.
Shawn Michaels was one half of the Rockers, an entertaining tag team that won over fans all over the world in the early years of his career, along with Marty Jannetty. Regretfully, the two would get involved in a shootout controversy and stage brawl in 1991, just as Michaels' fame was about to soar. This resulted in the duo breaking up in a memorable scene involving a barbershop window. Jannetty never achieved a single hit, while Michaels went on to become one of the most accomplished performers in the history of the industry. The two have since met after the latter faced with personal drug and alcohol-related challenges throughout the years. He hasn't kept in touch, allegedly to Michaels' Challenge Mania interview from 2019. "I don't have his phone number anymore," he said. "When I see him, he seems terrific and is great at times. At other times, not as much. Like everyone else, I find it to be heartbreaking. In that regard, I'm not sure what any of us can do. He has chosen a course of action for his life." Randy Orton and Mr. Kennedy were two of the sexiest young WWE performers in the middle of the 2000s. Together, the two performers progressed through the developmental system and eventually became travel companions. Kennedy's career was not as successful as Orton's, who went on to win numerous titles and established himself as a key figure in the sports entertainment industry. In 2009, after Orton stumbled during a bout from a backdrop Kennedy had delivered, a displeased apex predator went backstage with fellow big star John Cena to criticize Kennedy for being careless. Whatever remained of their connection was shattered when Kennedy was fired as a result of the incident, although their friendship was never totally restored. In an interview, Ken Anderson would say that the two had put their differences behind them. He also accepted responsibility for his sudden departure. "No one fired me, I have a Flair. For a few years I was very bitter and upset, and that resentment was directed at the wrong place," Anderson went on. "It ought to have been aimed at me in return." While Orton kept up his unwavering status as one of the best WWE superstars of the contemporary age, Anderson left WWE to work for TNA, where he won the world title. Throughout their ascent through the WWE developmental ranks and onto the main roster together, Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch forged an incredible friendship that culminated in a historic main event match at WrestleMania 35 alongside Ronda Rousey. Even though they had a fierce rivalry behind the rope, the two artists enjoyed a long-lasting friendship outside of the ring. However, Flair and Lynch had a falling out somewhere along the line. After the results of the WWE draft, the two champions were forced to switch belts during an unpleasant moment on SmackDown in October 2021, which culminated their backstage problem. When Flair put her championship down the mat, Lynch tried to play ball, and an emotional moment ensued between the two. Reports at the time stated that once both actors passed back through the curtain, there was a disagreement that nearly became violent. After their match at Survivor Series that year, Flair and Lynch didn't collaborate again until they formed a team with Shotzi and Bianca Belair at Survivor Series 2023. Following the incident, Lynch would provide her version of events in an interview with the MMA Hour, asserting that she and Flair were the closest of friends.
She's got that jealousy, and she's got that, just that little devil on her shoulder.
Back then, Flair was unstoppable, but in the last 4 years, Lynch's star power has grown, and Flair was unable to keep up. Due in large part to the two legendary characters at the top of the card, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, the 1980s are remembered as the WWE's golden age. In the middle of a protracted tenure as the top baby faces in the organization, the two even had a tag team run as the Mega Powers Stars. Following an on-screen split of that partnership, Hogan won the WWE Championship in the main event match of WrestleMania 5. The main focus of their on-screen rivalry was Miss Elizabeth, who was Savage's real-life wife at the time, but in 1992, things got serious enough to spill over into the outside ring. Elizabeth and Savage would file for divorce, and in a previous Full Send podcast interview, Hogan said his ex-ally held him responsible for the breakdown of their marriage. Must have had something to do with his divorce, he thought. That ended up being something like 8 years of not speaking to each other. In that same interview, Hogan would disclose that he made amends with Savage before Savage passed away in 2011, although their friendship remained unrepaired for nearly 20 years. Savage also recorded a well-known diss track against Hogan for his rap album. Hogan gave Savage a suitable send-off by inducting his former foe into the WWE Hall of Fame, despite the long-standing and public animosity between the two. Matt Hardy and Adam Edge Copeland's friendship appears to have ended due to a sincere romantic relationship. Hardy and Copeland had developed a close relationship backstage after thrilling fans in TLC matches and ruling the WWE Tag Team division with their respective partners in the late 1990s and early 2000s. After 6 years of dating Amy Lita Dumas, Hardy's relationship took a bad turn in 2005. It became known that she and Edge had been having an affair. Following the disclosure, Hardy was let go by WWE due to his unethical behavior, and he briefly collaborated with Ray. Hardy was brought back into the fold by the organization thanks to unwavering fan support. Hardy confronted Edge when he got back, and the two got involved in a storyline that ran on Raw for several months and featured a SummerSlam 2005 match. Hardy was transferred to SmackDown to resume his career after losing a Loser Leaves Raw match on October 3rd by unscrupulous means, while Edge went on to become a multiple world champion and one of the hottest heels on the Red brand. Although the angle became a main event push for Copeland and became a focal feature of WWE programming, he revealed in a 2021 interview that he never loved the situation. Both men eventually moved on from the unpleasant circumstance and married other women in the years that followed. Over WWE's Attitude Era, Rikishi and Scotty too, Hotty formed some of the most exciting trios alongside Grandmaster Sexy and Brian Christopher. It seemed like they were good friends and had developed a solid bond over their tenure with the business. Together, the two won championship gold, but things took a bad turn in 2015 when just one team member was honored with a Hall of Fame induction. In his remarks of acceptance, Rikishi would fall short of after the ceremony. If Ricky mentioned Scotty or Christopher, Scotty would take to social media to express his annoyance with Ricky, saying he should have been mentioned, and that it stung to be left out of the speech, considering how much time they spent working together. Even though Scotty hasn't received his own induction yet, he shared a selfie with Ricky on X in December 2021, indicating that both men have since buried the hatchet. Real name Scott Garland, Scotty was a backroom worker. Not most of the time, however. Over the years, CM Punk has been characterized as extremely loyal by people like Joey Mercury and Kofi Kingston, but there have also been times when his harsh personality has caused close friendships to fall apart, like as his friendship with WWE commentator Corey Graves. The two had gotten close backstage even though they had never collaborated on television. Despite Graves's best attempts after Punk left WWE in 2010, their lack of communication resulted in Graves publicly mocking Punk on X, the old name for Twitter, following one of his old buddies' UFC victory. Graves composed in 2016, "Supposed to only to have you turn your back on us wasn't the right move after all. No anger, only sadness." Graves provided some insight into his position if Punk were to rejoin WWE after being fired by AEW for a backstage altercation during an appearance on the Kurt Angle show, provided it was in the best interests of business. Who am I to refuse shaking his hand? I would go on and see what, life has in store. If that is indeed what transpired when Punk did make a comeback to the WWE at Survivor Series 2023, that information is still unknown. There's no denying CM Punk's divisive nature. Punk made the move to WWE and settled down as a housewife after making a splash on the independent scene as a straight-edge rebel in the early 2000s. Named prior to getting let go from the business in 2014, Punk was going to make a comeback to AEW wrestling after 7 years away. Although everything appeared to be going well for a while, Tony Khan, the head of AEW, eventually sacked Punk after several backstage confrontations. Punk's issues with AEW were a result of a long-standing disagreement with Colt Cabana. Punk, a fellow Chicagoan who entered the industry with the former world champion, and Cabana remained close for a long time. Punk discussed his complaints on Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast following his departure from the WWE. Punk and Cabana were involved in a protracted legal battle against WWE as a result of the incident. Punk and Cabana's friendship ended during the court case, and both men had stayed friends for a long time after that. Many people choose not to discuss the specifics of their falling out. That was until September 2022, when Punk engaged in a notoriously heated post-show media scrum, venting his frustrations about Cabana and AEW. Punk described the long-standing financial issues resulting from the legal dispute. Rumors that Cabana was taken off of AEW television following his arrival in August 2021 infuriated Punk as well. Although Cabana has been silent about the matter, it is evident that the two are still at odds. And there you have it, folks. The world of wrestling isn't just about body slams and championships, Sometimes, it's about the very real relationships that suffer under the bright lights of the ring. From betrayals to bitter rivalries, these wrestlers have seen their friendships crumble before our very eyes. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into the world of combat sports.